Hi, everybody. It's such an honor to be here, and it's been brilliant to hear all your work so far. Wow. Just wonderful, wonderful community to be part of. And David, thank you so much. So I am a mum of two wonderful children, and I'm neurodiverse, and I'm just really happy to be in this world. And I think I wanted to start with just a quick story. When I was about 3 years old, my grandfather asked me if I wanted to have a ride on his tractor. And I was really short and looking up at this enormous tractor, and I went, no, opa, which is how we say grandfather in Afrikaans. I'll do that next time I come. And the next time I was there, it was for his funeral. And that's when I decided that, life is short and we must make the most of it and grab opportunities. And even though I'm quite timid and shy and scared, that made me really brave. So I'm really going for just trying to have the best life I can. I'm really excited to be here. But anyway, so I had an interesting childhood and didn't make the best choice when I got married. It was a bit challenging, but yeah, I learned a lot. So I'm going to start with a few poems reflecting that tricky part of my life and how things flowed from there. So here's the first one. It's called The Bruise. I stand before you, I shine, I give you my beauty, all my love. What in you wants to shut me up and shut me down? My paper-thin defenses are bruised by your frown. Betrayal. Languidly, you lean forward, dip and stir your dirty fingers in the soothing waters of my soul, agitating mud and frog spawn, pond skimmers skittering away in panic, dragonfly nymphs lurking in the deep for years and years. Your reflection distorts. Ugliness circles out, wave upon wave. Damn pond, you shout. How dare you? I was in love with you, but you are hideous now. Broken, not broken. Face a mess, hot tears burn out, but body stands, bones stack themselves, and we see her lean forward, step into her life. Ending. Out of the ashes of failed relating, I rose. Now, today, mothballs in my hands, crinkling blue IKEA bags, shoes and folded clothes. I breathe out, relieved to say goodbye. Why then, at the graveside of us, do I hug your jumpers and cry? And a reflection here, years later, maybe 7 years after the ending of that difficult space, we had a visit. So that inspired this poem. And mother, and screaming, and he did, and she did, and laughing, but hiding the smirk, because it hurts, Mom. Fuck it. Oh, fuck. Just stop. Let me be. I have music in me. My hands still have paint in them. No one can see me. My apron is dirty, but not with the pottery clay my soul craves. The dance in my feet now just stays flat. So why must I love them? Stay loyal, keeping up, brave face and smiles, mother lies. Oh, fuck those useless romantic shit stories of yours. Of coming home and running baths and rubbing my feet. I fell for the myth of domestic slavery, and these charming chains of love still bind me to them and through them to you, who, with spider feet, weave to control your own pain by pulling these strings and winding us all up. Now, today, years later, we, all excited like dust, brownie in motion in the beam of your light, we thrill at your presence, your visit, your awesome approval, our own secret drug. Only it's noisy. Then you, bored stiff by shrill siblings, even though you haven't seen us, not really, in years. Stand up and leave us again. Thank you. Well, having escaped the gravity well of that relationship opened up a huge amount of freedom and creativity. And I got back into music and, drama and acting and had such a ball. And I fell in love and had my heart broken, but it got me writing for the first time since I was at school. So even though it was painful, it was like being a teenager again, I guess. I was, I just got to feel alive again. So here's a few poems from that period of my life. Untitled. I invite you into my emptiness, into my fuzzy edges, into my blue and white cloud sky, upwards into emptiness, openness, and peace. Thank you. New love. Silver rivulets flow in the loam of my heart and reach for your beautiful shore. The scent fills my lungs and I feel my breath slow. Quicksilver cataracts sink deeper and furled fronds like fingers hold on, then let go. Edges. Peripheral view of a red wine stain. I tidy up. I straighten the edges, wanting you to mess them up again. Press, leave a mess. Signs and markings of your febrile passing through an ordered, careful life. I hold on to your debris. E-cigarette, plastic cups. Silly of me. Stress ball. A gift. Little red stress ball, which inspired a poem while I was on a train. Of all the most inappropriate places to think of a poem, especially a poem like this. Anyway, stress ball. Red ball, I press. Pumping blood, inflating breasts. I press again against your flesh. Red ball of joy inside my flesh. I press, I press, I press. And all this explanation of love and growth, and this sort of expansion can't last forever. Whenever Jupiter is on the rise, Saturn's always around the corner, waiting to bring the limitations and the boundaries and the seriousness again. So this was the other side of the hill. Manifesto. Did you know that I am writing you letters? Letters I will never send, because this has nothing to do with you. This is my love for you, yes, but my love nonetheless. I am free. You can't hurt me more than I can hurt myself. There's nothing I can do, nothing I can lose. I haven't anything. I haven't you. I am free. And so are you. Minefield. I hesitate. I step and stop. No bomb. But the fear remains, the silence ominous. Are the bombs really there? If they explode, will I know? Or is the quiet a tender request to leave? Shame. Tender breasts. Just PMS, I say, brushing tears away. I miss you. I curl into a ball. Time tick-tocks. I find my phone, unfurl my fingers, write the pain into submission. Defiant, I hide my shame by exposing it relentlessly. Damn you, poetry. It's so frustrating if, while you're going through the worst time of your life, and you're broken, but you think, oh, this is something I could write a poem about. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. It's just the worst thing. It's like, no, I need to feel this. It's like, oh, we'll make a really good poem. Anyway, oh dear. Anger. This wasn't about the poetry. This is about this person who drove me mad. Anyway, anger. Tender shoot, fragile flame, burn, cupped hands a bowl, heated from below by rage. Then steam escapes, pistons pump, and the engine of my life ticks into gear. Breakthrough. I saw my reflection in you, crashed into the mirror, broke through to the other side. And it was just me there, still alone, bleeding around the edges, but whole. Catalyst, you move on, I imagine, unaffected by the chemical reaction, the alchemical transformation you facilitated in me. Thank you. On reflection, I tried to throw myself at you. You gave me elegantly back myself. Stronger, whole, repackaged dynamite. Thank you. Yes, and that was the beginning of coming back into some form of equilibrium, I suppose. And I wrote this poem, Love in a Sanatorium. You know, when you're no longer in your early 20s or even your early 30s. Aged bodies, broken hearts, scarred, stumped. At awkward angles, we meet and bleed together and bump our broken limbs against each other's wounds. Thank you. Yeah, and a few months ago, I decided, okay, this is it. I'm going to try my hand at dating again. And I started writing a dating profile. And again, bloody poetry turned into a poem. So this is what came out. I love the way sunlight feels in winter, dancing barefoot, giggling with children. I love being held in your arms, quiet times together, being alive. My favorite things are lying in the garden, seeing patterns in the clouds, watching insects go about their business in the grass. Quiet, woolly jumpers, strong muscles holding me, the scent of fresh laundry, natural texture, sitting back to back, breathing together. You. The things I want, I cannot have because wanting means not having, doesn't it? If I had, why would I want? So I seek out my own woolen jumpers. I hug them. I wash them fresh. I scrub my wooden floors, refresh my plants, paint. Why does this illusion of couple love persist? Who sells it us and why? People are hard, full of edges that make me cry when my edges brush against them. Thank you. And despite those fears, despite being a bit neurodiverse, I've got both autism and ADHD, and it can make it a bit awkward being me. Never mind meeting someone else and figuring out how to interact, and it's all so complicated. Goodness, I think I'd rather give a speech in front of 1,000 people than go on a date and have to do social chit chat. It's really hard. But yeah, I was very lucky to meet a very special person, and just after meeting him, it felt like something was shifting inside me. So I wrote this very short poem. Turning. Tectonic plates are shifting in the salty sea. Eyes cracking, axes hacking, the ship breaks free. Thank you. Oh. Snakeskin. Seamless sheath unfurling in the curling skin of my hand. Breath flares, it scares me. In the glare we share, we bare our souls, our teeth, glinting in the glow. Snarl or smile, my inner child, hair wild, unzips me from inside, shedding me a skin, shaking off the scales of old wives' tales, scales balanced between hunger and need, the need to feed, to bleed, revealing raw sin, crawling under your skin. Bright, shining pulses, drumming beat convulses, I curl, unfurl, evaporate. Thank you. David, how am I doing for time?
Well, technically like 3 or 4 minutes left, but roll on.
Okay, I've only got a few, hopefully not very long ones to go. Thank you. I studied science. I first was going to be a psychologist, and then I worked for a newspaper and fell in love with the whole world of journalism. So I became a journalist. And then I did games reviews, and my editor said, oh, write a column about science and technology. And I fell in love with science and studied a BSc in science and applied maths. So I love science and anything to do with facts and figures and physics, especially very much. And I was on a train and I just looked over coming into Leeds and saw the beautiful reflections with the sunset. And I wrote this poem about gravity called First Light. Gravity, oh gravity, without your graceful pull, where would our limpid lakes, reflecting rivers in the early morning glow, go? Thank you. Uncle. My uncle died, my dad's youngest brother, the last of the 4 children, died a few months ago. And this bubbled up. A poem lurks beneath the surface of my mind. A whale shape bulges up, but the water doesn't break. You were the last. You knew my father's past. You have his calves and ankles, don't you know? His closed-eyed laugh and silver whiskers too. What did you see when you would drive beneath the blue? The family were all so proud of you. A Navy diver, stronger than the rest. Not even cousin Colin could beat your best. With quiet twinkles in those naughty pale blue eyes, you kept your secrets close with little smiles and barbecues in style. But nothing ever tasted as good as my father in a happy mood. Did you know him before he was sad, before he was broken, before he turned bad? Was he good Was he kind? Did you still love him or just get by when he had to be daddy and smack you till he cried? Your broken mother made him chief, stole his childhood like a rotten thief. The army made it worse. The shouty sergeant major with lips so thin and terse, who barked orders at children, and when he wanted to impress, would demand a show for special guests, made us play and perform, ignorant of the storm building inside of me. But over the well shape, the water bulges, it does not break. The whale turns, the water churns, and the ocean swallows it whole. And to end, thank you. And to end my final poem of the night, it's called Anahata, Unbeaten. And Anahata is the Sanskrit word for the heart chakra. And I only found this out a couple of weeks ago, that this name for the heart chakra, which is the seat of love and compassion, and it's where things kind of come together. It's this beautiful green color. Apparently, I've not seen it. And Anahata means unstruck or unbeaten, and it got me thinking about whether there's a part of me that always has been unbeaten, no matter what's happened. So I wrote this short poem. Unbeaten. The blows rain down across my shoulders and soul, like autumn leaves released by a tree that has grown tired of their weight. They flutter and settle in the hollows of my collarbones, the dimples in my thighs. I stand, shake them off, stride forward, unbeaten. Thank you, everybody.